Hello everyone, this is Nick Perry at Schaeffer's Investment Research with your chart slideshow for Thursday, May 24th. Today I am back with my weekly check of the broad market indices. In last week's chart slideshow, we basically saw a split market. The Dow had been moving straight up, the SPX more or less straight up. We talked about a little bit of a consolidation there, but it wasn't a pullback, it was just a short consolidation. So that was one half. The other half involved the comp and the rut. And basically, we talked about this pullback that was being caught right at support, and that support was coming from this area right here. And on the rut, we basically saw a pullback that was occurring at this level here, but it was still holding above these lows and at the 50-day moving average. And basically, I left it saying I wanted to keep an eye on the comp because the index was acting the weakest, to see if that was just an anomaly or if it was hinting towards bigger weakness. And on the rut, I basically said we had this big consolidation pattern we've been watching, and basically we're short-term support to see how that played out. When we turn to this week's charts, we see a bounce. Basically, the comp held at that support zone there, and we got a nice little rally off of that broke above those highs. And the rut also popped higher, basically held its support at the 50-day moving average, held above those lows, and perhaps more importantly, or more interestingly I should say, it broke above this little consolidation area, above the zone, and now technically that would be viewed as short-term support. So basically what happened is we've seen a bounce in the last week, though the action today is showing us a bit of a pullback. It's a little before noon. A look at my market monitor shows, we're seeing some mild losses, and basically a lot of that's, or at least some of it's being attributed to some comments from Mr. Greenspan. In last week's chart slideshow, we looked at a similar picture, focusing on the current Fed chief, and today we've got the picture with the former Fed chief. Basically, Mr. Greenspan was out making some cautious comments about Chinese stocks, basically saying, looking for some sort of big correction. I don't know what the exact terminology is, don't really care. As I went off in my blog today, basically saying I'm not sure why people are listening to him, but I don't want to get too much off topic here. Basically, the idea is that we do have Mr. Greenspan out there, and he is growling. So keep that in mind. So, with Mr. Greenspan's comments in mind and the market pulling back, let's talk about what to focus on. Basically, you got a couple of things going on here. First of all, you've got the upcoming holiday, which means that trading may start to dry up here. I know, typically long weekends, the action on Friday tends to be light. Sometimes that leads to dramatic moves, but it more, in my opinion, leads to whipsaw action. You basically get a lot of whippy moves. If you watch the net ticks indicator, you'll see that pops back and forth a lot during light action, spiking above 1,000, below negative 1,000. So basically what we've got here is potentially light action, but we've got uptrend showing. Even with today's pullback, it's, who knows how far this goes by the end of the day, if anywhere, but basically this congestion here on the SPX, that's short-term support, and you've got this longer-term support down in this area. As far as the Dow, basically longer-term support there. Given just the steady uptrend here, you don't have much in the way of congestion or support, so not really much to key on there. But the action of the SPX and the Dow have been pretty close, so that's something to keep an eye on. On the comp, basically, that area is still important. If we see a retest of that, you'd like to see that hold. And as far as the rut goes, that's short-term support, but also this area down in here. So basically, you've got just, I'd call this kind of just congestion in this area. So what you'd be looking for is a break somewhere below this line here is a warning sign. But even then, we've talked about that just being part of the longer-term picture. So I guess the summary to my summary would be basically the uptrends are intact. We've got a little bit of pullback here, but in the grand scheme of these uptrends here, it's going to take a while before we would see anything that would really break that. So anyway, that's what I'll be watching in the coming week. So as always, stay tuned to the blog for further updates.